Hello ladies and gentlemen, Keaton here and welcome to the Tengu Drop Recap for the week of May 10th, 2015. I'm running down everything that we released on the channel this week, so let's start with Monday. On Monday, I was so excited to see that Joe on his own finally took his first steps into anime games with Yandere Simulator. And, you know, I think for someone like Joe, Yandere Simulator was probably the best way to get into anime games in the first place because, as you may or may not know, Yandere is a pretty violent and dark trope. But, it's pretty funny to see Joe's reaction to, I don't know, I'm not too sure how much Joe knows about the whole Yandere trope in general, but it's pretty funny to see him reacting to the aspects of a game that would be called Yandere Simulator. It's a very interesting, it's like you could watch it for just the blood and the panties, but then you can also watch it to just see Joe just trying to absorb this situation that he's in. And you know, hats off to him. I hope he does more anime games. I would love to see Joe tackle one of the crazier visual novels in the future. You guys should leave comments and keep bothering him about it. Since he's finally took his first step, he should continue his journey into anime games because I would love to see it. I would love to see more. But yes, that was Monday's video. Highly recommend you guys check it out if you haven't. On Tuesday, I took a look at a game called Reaper, Tale of a Pale Swordsman. I did not know beforehand that this was actually a mobile port, which explains a lot of the problems I had with the game, but nonetheless, it's a game about not playing the game in a way. Like, the combat mechanic is you run into enemies by just literally just running into them to gain rage so that your attacks are more powerful. To be frank, it wasn't a very good game, but nonetheless, I tried to make it fun. I cut a lot of footage out. I think the original session was about 40 minutes. So yeah, please check it out. On Wednesday, Joe took a look at Mini Metro. He looked at the latest user interface update, and he did it on the St. Petersburg, Russia map, I believe, something like that. Nonetheless, it's Mini Metro. If you've watched his Mini Metro videos before, you know what to expect. If you have not, you should definitely check them out. Pretty interesting game once you get the hang of it, especially if you've ever wanted to map out your own rail system. Anyway, on Wednesday, we also did more Payday 2. This was our second attempt at a Death Wish map, and this time it was the Diamond Store. And I'm not going to give too much away, but I do like the fact that we were able to do our thing and still have some recreational time to really bond as a team of thieves. A lot of dead bodies again. We got out with the money, so still a win. Anyway, moving on. On Thursday, I did more Nuclear Throne. This was the second episode in my newly revamped format for the series, and I actually do have a name for the series going forward. I am currently working on assets to make it a little more flashy or more nice. I actually had a lot of fun recording this episode. I've actually had a lot of fun recording these episodes in general, and I've had a lot of fun editing them, especially because I get to add a little more flair to it, and I think it gives it a lot more personality. I think this format better suits my current level of play, so I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it because this will be the format going forward, because it's more enjoyable this way for me as a content creator. So that will be the format. And if you haven't checked it out, this week's video was really good in my opinion. A lot of diverse runs, a lot of successful runs, a lot more successful than last week's at least, so there's that. So if you haven't checked it out yet, highly recommend you guys do, and be sure to give me your feedback and what you guys think about the format, because, you know, I would love to know what you guys think. Moving on. On Friday, we did more God mode. This time we did the Hades something map. I keep forgetting the name. I would say that this time around we did a lot better. We learned from our previous mistakes, and a very interesting map, very interesting end. Won't spoil it, but it does involve gold, and yeah, it's a pretty fun game still. I think we're interested in playing more, so you know, definitely get caught up with this one. It's not a bad looking game actually, and there's some moments where it gets a little ridiculous with the lens flare, but nonetheless it's still a nice game to look at, so there's that. But yeah, that was Friday's video. On Saturday, Joe and I did a more visceral cleanup with a little twist. Well, usually when we do visceral cleanup, we just talk and, you know, shoot the breeze and talk about whatever's on our mind. But this time around, we decided, you know, we both recently watched the Daredevil series on Netflix. So we decided to talk about the series. So spoiler warning on that video because we do spoil the entire season. So if you have watched the Daredevil series and you would like to hear some of our thoughts on the whole series in general, highly recommend you guys check that out. We also did the new 0G map on it, Gravity something, and we have a little fun in that too. So if you want to see the newest Viscera cleanup map, you can mute the video and then, you know, just watch us fumble around in an anti-gravity level. So there's that. Anyway, that is the week in Tengu Drop videos. As always, if you missed any of it, everything that we released is in the description for your convenience. So you can check them out and get caught up. Next week, what can you expect? We plan to have at least one new release, which will be Lemma on Tuesday. But on Monday, I will be looking at the full release version of Action Hank, which is finally coming out of early access, so that's exciting. There are a couple of other things I would love to do this week. Don't know if we're going to be able to get to them because obviously it's hard to, you know, promise everything that we would love to do, but gonna try our best to, you know, maybe do some new stuff, maybe do some old stuff, who knows. But nonetheless, you can expect at least 2 new game releases. Technically 1, but you know, one's coming out of early access, so let's not split hairs. Anyway, with that said, be sure to check out everything if you haven't. Once again, it's all in the description. And thank you to everyone who has been keeping up with everything, has been commenting, liking, and, you know, sharing them and all of that good stuff. We always appreciate your support. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. And yeah, so until next week, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys then for another Tengu Drop Recap. Bye!